Plaintiff, Perrin Elliott, started dating the defendant after they met on an online dating site. Perrin says she soon discovered that the defendant not only smoked pot, but he also allowed his son to smoke pot. Perrin and the defendant eventually broke up, and she's suing him today for several unpaid loans. Defendant Kevin Moore says he broke up with Perrin because he needed time to heal from his divorce. And although they remained friends, he claims Perrin got jealous whenever he chose church or his own children over her. Kevin's countersuing Perrin for his cell phone bill and disconnection fees.
Start with you.
I met Kevin on an online dating site.
When?
In December of last year.
All right.
Probably about a week later, we met up for coffee, and then after that, we started going out. Probably about 3 months after that, some information from him, just little tidbits at a time, started trickling down.
Like what?
Things like he had smoked pot and occasionally still did.
That's terrible. He should be stoned. Well, he's already stoned from the pot. Talking about the way they do in some countries.
I think that the real kicker was when I found out that his 20-year-old son that was living with him as a roommate did pot all the time.
With his compliance?
Yes, and he also
That's a real problem. Just so that people are clear about my beliefs, sometimes they hear me playing with Doyle about pot. I believe in medical marijuana, and I believe at some point in the future it's going to be legal. I don't believe that it should be used illegally. I don't believe that young adults, even if it does become legal, should use it. It should be just like alcohol is used. You let him smoke pot?
Absolutely not.
Do you know of him to smoke pot on a daily basis?
No, sir, not recently.
All right. When you discovered that, if and when you discovered him using pot, what did you do?
Is it okay for me to say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Micah was arrested. He has been on probation for 6 months, and he has had clean drug test every single time.
Good. All right.
Your Honor, may I interrupt,
for all the
please?
young people in college in particular that think it's all right to smoke pot because it isn't that harmful or whatever else you think about it, it's less harmful than alcohol. That's one of the big defenses now. You should know that it's still illegal and you will be charged, and if convicted, you will be punished, and it will hurt your record on into the future. Go ahead, ma'am.
Well, the main thing was that his son was his roommate, and he was trying to get back on his feet. And he constantly called me. Every time I saw him, it was Micah's not paying me.
Okay.
He's not paying me what he needs to pay me. I'm having a back to Jesus talk with him. That was exactly what he would say. And every other week it was the same thing. I can't pay my child support.
Let me hear from him before we get to the specifics of the loan you're suing for, sir.
Perrin and I started dating last December. We maintained a relationship until about mid-March. At that time, I had found out that her divorce wasn't final yet. But the main reason that I wanted to break the relationship is because I still needed time to heal from my divorce. I jumped into dating way too soon. When I tried to break off the relationship, Perrin wanted to remain friends, and frankly, I did too, because I like her a lot. So we maintained a solid friendship for quite some time. In mid-July, Perrin told me that she loved me and that she wanted to get back into a relationship. I told her I couldn't do that. You know, my heart needed healing, and quite frankly, I couldn't reciprocate the feelings that she had for me.
You're smart and honest to tell her
Yes,
that.
sir.
Most men wouldn't, or many men wouldn't do that. They would take advantage and try and get friends with benefits.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
But as she said, you know, we did have a lot of communications, and I did tell her on numerous occasions, I got to have a back to Jesus meeting about this young man right here, you know, because we were best of friends. We talked every day. We did things together. We went to the park. We went to the movies. You know, we had a lot of good times. After that conversation happened, she became very distant from me. About 2 weeks later, on July 31st, she sent me a text and asked me to come to Tuscaloosa because she really needed a hug. I sent her a text back that I was with my son Joshua. That I just couldn't do that. I need to spend time with my children. Her response to that, Your Honor, was just absolutely surreal. I've got a text message, if I could read it to you, if that's okay. All right. That hurt, but I will get over it. Please don't ask me to do anything else for you. I'm done. Real friends don't put workouts and church services over someone they know is hurting, especially if they are their quote-unquote best friend. She's tired of being shoved to the side. From that point on, Your Honor,
she wanted you to put her above church?
I can't swear that that's what she meant by it, but that's the way it reads.
Read that again.
Okay, it says, please don't ask me to do one thing else for you. I'm done. Real friends don't put workouts and church services.
Stop right there.
Yes, sir.
Don't put church services, finish,
over someone they know is hurting.
Ma'am?
The man's attended church about 3 times this year.
Well, that one time, he definitely should have been there. That's even more of a reason to let him to recommend that he go there instead of visiting with you. I'm having a little fun with it, but I am being a little serious at the same time. And not to tell this man that he should put you ahead of church. Now, the loans he owes you are for what?
First of all, I live on disability, and I'm a single mom, 13-year-old child, and I just got my disability in March, and he knew this. And right after that, he tells me he can't pay his child support, Michael's not giving him his rent, this, that, and the other, and asked me for a $500 loan. And so, out of the kindness of my heart, I gave it to him.
When was he to repay?
I said this summer.
Okay.
And, we'll
Has he paid you
it.
anything on that?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And you're also suing for another $500, obviously, because your lawsuit is for $1,000.
Yes, sir. That was in June. He had gotten a speeding ticket and missed the court date, and so they issued a warrant for his arrest. And he got really, really angry and upset about it.
You loaned it to him, and when was he to repay that?
I drew up a promissory note because we had talked about $25. He gets
All right,
paid.
let's see it.
He gets paid weekly. And we discussed $25 a week.
All right, it's not signed. Do you have one that's signed?
No, sir, because he wouldn't sign it.
Sir, what do you say about the $1,000 in loans?
I borrowed $500 from her.
When?
That was in June.
The
one
time
that she's
she
talking
said?
about. Yes.
Has she ever mentioned $500 more to you?
Just with the
The
lawsuit.
first time you knew is
Yes.
when you received the papers in the mail to go to small claims court.
Yes, sir.
All right. And your counterclaim for $518 is for what?
That is for
Cell phone and disconnection.
Yes,
How
sir.
so?
Exactly. I've got cell phone bills as my
She
glasses hit the floor.
failed to pay the bills that you had placed the phone in her name for?
She paid every bill every time until this
you break
thing came
up.
up. So I've got the phone bill that she now owes me, and then the disconnection fees. That's where the
All
$500
right.
comes from.
Let's see it.
Yes, sir.
And ma'am, he says he only borrowed $500, and then he says that you owe him for a phone bill that he put in his name for your use. What do you say?
I'd like for you to see this.
What is it?
It is actually text between he and I. This right
Why don't
here.
you tell me what it is you're trying to show me?
I'm trying to show you I'm not responsible for anything on that phone bill.
Okay, now I want you to read whatever text you want to prove to me.
Okay.
You just can't tell me that and hand me 5 pages worth of text.
Okay,
ma'am.
sure. I said you threatened to turn off the phones a week ago Monday, and this was on. I'm just going to read it like it is. So I told you to go ahead. So it's on you. End of the story.
You do owe for a disconnection fee. You told him to turn it off. Go ahead.
He
You
says,
just helped
Karen,
his
I've
case.
never said I don't owe you. And I said, you owe me $1,000 because that's what I loaned you and you know it. And he says, and I told you you will get that and more.
Let's see it. Sir? Sir?
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Yes, sir. I'm here.
You told her on this text that you will pay her $1,000 and more.
Well, I apologize for the way the text is worded, but I texted incorrectly. You're right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Either that or you're lying.
No, sir.
All right. I will grant you, ma'am, $1,000. He acknowledged that he owed you, and I'll grant you $518 for the remaining balance of the bill and the disconnection fee. Have a good day. What does that ultimately leave her with?
$482.
$482 for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
She's got a ring of mine that I needed to get back, and I brought a book and a DVD that she owns.
You also owe me a pendant.
I don't have the pendant with me, but I'd like to get my ring back. You know.
You'll get it back when you get me my pendant.